Hiya, pals. Hi, pals, and welcome to the Disneyland Paris Show. Here's your hosts, Lucy, Chris, and Hugh. Gosh. And now, Disneyland Paris News.
Happy birthday, bruh.
Oh, money goes to money.
Brickburst.
Paddy power.
Save the date.
Style and glamour.
Well, hey there, hi there, ho there, Disney fans. I hope you're all doing well. It has been a minute. I got a little bit poorly last week. Just a bit under the weather, feeling a bit blah. But we didn't have a Chris anyway. And we're like, do you know what? Rather than me just battle through it and Hugh have to take the energy, we're just going to come back to you when we are at peak physical fitness, which we all are today, I hope. Are you all right?
Just about. I'm recovering. I did a play last week.
I know. That's why you weren't here.
It was called The Winslow Boy, and I played a part called Sir Robert. And I found out today that the person I played was based on the guy who outed Oscar Wilde and ultimately got him imprisoned and then ostracised.
That's very interesting.
How did that affect your part on stage?
Well, I didn't know at the time, so
That's a shame.
So not a lot, really.
Very interesting. Yeah. I thought that Oscar Wilde pretty much outed himself.
Well, I mean, yeah, kind of, but he cross-examined him. He somebody else made a scathing suggestion, and he countersued for defamation of character.
And during the countersuing,
this guy basically cross-examined him. And he crumbled straight away. Yeah. And he got imprisoned for the illegality of being homosexual at the time.
It is a fascinating story. And it's a fascinating story.
He moved to somewhere, France or something like that. I can't remember. And then later died. And the boy who was in it, the boy who it's all about, the Winslow boy, the person that he was based on, he died in the first battle of Ypres at the age of 19, so he only lived 5 years after this whole scenario.
19.
No, 19.
Do you know what? I would like to read that script. So Terence Rattigan, isn't it?
It is Terence Rattigan. It's very wordy. He likes to use a lot of words where less would suffice. But apart from that...
Very detailed stage directions, as I remember. However, theatre chat, this is not.
No, that's for another podcast another time.
I know that we keep saying that we're going to start. This is your weekly Disney podcast, your weekly Disneyland Paris podcast, and that is what we're going to be talking about today. I've checked in with Chris. I'm going to check in with Huey. Huey, anything to report?
I cut my finger on a tomato soup lid earlier, and I said cut. It was a slice. I sliced it along the edge, and I've got a plaster on. So if my finger looks misshapen, it's cut in a place that's very hard to put plaster on, or a Band-Aid for Americans. That's my news.
I had a massage last week before getting ill, and there was many bizarre things about this massage. But one of the things was, I'm fairly sure she had a plaster on her finger, because it was constantly scratching and catching me as she massaged. That's not what you want, is it?
Oh, no, that is not what you want.
That's not good.
You don't want that.
There was a whole catalogue of weird things about this massage. I won't go into it. Do you know what else we did last week?
What else did you do last week?
It'll make you a little bit jealous.
Go on then.
We randomly went to a listener's house and had a cup of coffee.
I've heard, yeah.
We, as some of you may know...
We don't drink coffee.
What did we have? I can't remember.
I brought some alcohol-free cider.
We did. We had alcohol-free cider.
Anyway, we'll get into that though.
We coincidentally live quite close to Voiceover Guy, who is in the chat today. And through various different scenarios, he ended up saying, hey, why don't you just pop over? So we did. For about an hour.
It's because the last few weeks I've been walking past his house, sort of, and past Chris's house several times, Chris's side of 37 Disney Street.
I keep inviting you, but you never come.
Which is actually like about a 10-mile walk away.
It was jolly nice. And do you know what we talked about? Disney.
Yeah.
Mainly.
And Virgin.
Disney and Virgin, and gym mats. Yeah, it's good. Right. So, we need to get on some news today because we do like to digress, as we have already done 4 times in 4 minutes. So, first of all, let's find out who's in the chat.
Who are they?
Joey was first in the chat today. Hi, Joey. Joey says, "Hey, lovelies. So glad to have you all back for my favourite part of the week."
Hey, that's us.
Today's question is birthday themed to celebrate the studios. What is something you miss from it since the makeover?
I always liked Studio One, but I particularly liked when they'd have characters up on the balcony in the morning or when they'd have the band playing in there. And I enjoyed walking through Studio One first thing in the morning when we'd go there for early magic hours and getting she was going to say about the other thing, I think.
Hepcat Cafe, because often when you can't get a snack anywhere else, Hepcat Cafe was the only place you could get these fabled snacks that were advertised everywhere. No, I didn't, but going to the Hepcat Cafe, you can always get a Wookiee cookie or a Thanos Madeline, whatever it was. What was that Madeline?
It was.
No, I don't think it was Thanos.
Oh no, you said it looked like
it was
Thanos.
purple, so I held it up to my chin and I said, "I am inevitable," because it looked like his chin. But I can't remember what the theme of the Madeline was.
But thing is, I'm hopeful that whatever they do with its world premiere now, isn't it? Is that right, Chris?
Yeah.
World
Are we
premiere.
just talking about Studio One here?
No, just
Anything
the
in the studios.
studios in general.
Because there is something big that I miss.
I would just think whatever they do with world premiere, they will still have that set. They'll still have music and they'll still have characters on the balcony. So I'm hopeful it's all going to be fine.
Different, just have a different vibe.
It will. It should be the same. Right, what do you miss?
I did love the Hepcat Cafe. I did love that. But it's obvious, isn't it? It's Jeremy Irons and the Orange Act.
Yeah.
For those who don't know what we're talking about, who haven't been in the last few years, Jeremy Irons used to narrate the tram tour. This sums it up for my first bit of news in a second. Is like, did nobody think that the actors age? And when you video someone in, when was it, 2003 it opened? Yeah, no, 2005 it must have been.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know.
Anyway, hang on.
Yes, when it opened.
Whenever it opened.
Don't matter.
Whenever it opened, the video him, and then like 18 years later or whatever, you've just got this like really fresh-faced looking guy that we all know is a bit old. It would janky. It would janky and pointless. Right, continue, Huey.
Does anyone miss Armageddon as well, just before we move on?
I never went in Armageddon, and it was open while we were going. Yeah, right. So Joey says, surely it's Armageddon, right?
There we go.
I actually really miss the tours, Rock and Roller Coaster, and oddly, the Playhouse Disney shows. Yet Rock and Roller Coaster, as it was great.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a shame.
I really like Disney Junior, actually. I miss Disney Junior. In fact, now we can even say Dream Factory, because that's gone, hasn't it?
Hello to Emily. Evening all, looking forward to this week's show. Thanks again for helping with the Sunday Scaries. The Sunday Scaries. Joey, I miss the Scream stations. This is Emily talking to Joey. Scream stations, and dare I say the Aerosmith ride, especially the pre-show. Hubby misses the stunt show.
The Scream stations, that was a really good photo shoot. I'm gutted that's gone.
Emily adds, scratch that, Jeremy Irons, I miss... if you see any real dragons out there, slay them for me, will you? Hello to John. Hey guys, great to have you back. Disney Village is looking great. Lucy's here. Oh no, it's Bonnie, isn't it? See, I'm the first person to use the pink hand today. Oh, the fights, because Jimmy Clements is here, says hi everyone, and waves a pink hand. Pink hands. Emily also waves a pink hand. And coming over on the inside, Emily's waving a pink hand, closely followed by Jimmy Clements waving, but in the lead, it's Bonnie with the first pink hand. We have voiceover guy, who we mentioned before. We saw him last week. Good evening to you. 23 days to DizCal.
Oh, trip report from that, please. Trip report from that.
Yeah.
We've still got a Japan trip report, haven't we? We didn't read that last time, did we?
Oh.
Oh,
we haven't done that yet.
Oh, I'm excited
Got a
for that.
Tokyo one, haven't we?
Fit that in today. I'll rattle through the
right,
news.
I'll try.
Okay, well, I'll get through these then. Andrew says, evening all. Hope everyone
Evening.
is feeling well again this week. We had a brilliant time at DLP on Monday and Tuesday. It was totally amazeballs.
We've got your trip report, and we've also seen you've posted stuff in the Facebook group as well this week, which has been great. Thank you very much.
And we got Ruthie and Pat and Andrew Palmer and Holidays with the Spence family says, hi everyone. Looking forward to our trip in April. We only got back from Disney World Florida last month and already missing the Disney magic. Is it too much to already look into Halloween at DLP 2?
No.
Short answer.
We actively encourage
yes.
anybody to look at any given time. We would never say it's too soon to do that.
Do you know, it popped into my head midweek that a good kind of theme for a show would be, let's have a price up party where we all just like price up holidays live.
Like just sit with our
You just
phones
sit
out.
together and go, oh, I can get 4 nights in Newport Bay in April.
Yeah, just 3 people looking at the phones going, that's not bad.
Yeah,
Occasionally holding the phone.
see
out.
what the flight prices are like on that day. Oh, you see that offset savings.
And we've also got Hannah and Julia and Jen who says, hi Disney pals, no show for me as I'm in DLP waiting for the fireworks to start.
Oh no, I love it when people...
I'll send a trip report.
I love it when people live update though at that point going, I'm stood in the queue for pirates right now. Good luck getting Wi-Fi in the queue for pirates, but there you go.
Speaking of which, Nick Murray's not in the chat today, you might have noticed, but he had the audacity to say, when I'm not going to be there today, so can you give me a shout out, please? Because they've gone to watch the Disney on Ice 100 Years of Wonder. So that's Nick, Michelle, and Jasmine. Hello.
Hi guys.
Enjoy the show. Nice little Disney fix, the Disney on Ice, I think.
Oh, Joey wants to know about your necklace, Lucy.
This is, I really don't know. I don't want to move because I always kill the microphone when I move. But this is like a silhouette of Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs following her.
Oh, nice.
On a log, dwarfs.
Dwarfs. How many times? Dwarves. Guys, if you're not aware, because I've not reiterated this in a while, dwarves is Tolkien, and dwarfs is the word.
Do you know what's funny? It is now 2025, and we started our classics podcast in 2019.
Lab rats learn quicker than me.
And the reason I've got this bell is because I knew people on the first ever show we did, which was about Snow White, would say dwarves, and I got this bell, and it's persisted.
And Joey also says, will you be watching the live action version? I'll be honest, I'm not going to the cinema to watch it. I'm not saying I'll never watch it. I have been a big critic of this since it was announced. Nothing I have seen or heard has convinced me to stop being a critic of it. And this is going to be one of the major things. Mind you, we didn't go see Mufasa either. We're going to catch that on Disney Plus this week, I think.
Moana 2's out now, isn't it, on Disney Plus?
But we did go to the cinema to see Moana 2. We do go see most things, me and Bonnie. Hugh doesn't always come with us. But I'm just not smelling what Disney are stepping in when it comes to this.
I saw someone on social media the other day who said, I've just seen Snow White and I think it's going to surprise people and it's probably going to be their favourite live action remake. I mean, that's a low bar already, I know, but it's an interesting, wasn't it?
You see, Little Mermaid was amazing.
Little Mermaid was really good.
It was really good.
I enjoyed Aladdin. I really enjoyed Dumbo.
Aladdin were all right. I have problems with Aladdin.
I've dropped off, right? You know, like, people have different things they like about Disney, and people, annoyingly, they go, oh, Hugh, you like Disney, don't you? And it's not just... There's lots of different parts of Disney, and I've come to realise the films, there's the odd one that I really love. I really enjoyed going through them all, and I love Pixar in particular, but like most of the films that come out, I'm not interested in. They're not targeted at me. I'm just not that bothered about seeing them.
You've always kind of said that the Disney versus Pixar, haven't you? That you're more
I'm a Pixar boy.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to apologise actually to viewers. The set is woefully off-centre.
I like the...
it gets progressively...
The 37 Disney sign up here that's just out of shot.
Well, that's because normally when I frame stuff on the iPhone, when you're not here, Chris, the actual show on screen is more zoomed out than it appears on the preview. So I thought that'd happen again, and it hasn't. It's just cropped it off. The background just gets progressively more dull as it goes towards Chris, and then there's just Chris and a plain wall and a thermostat above his head, and behind me there's tropical things, and Lucy's got a map. Right, anyway.
I'm just going to break
Mickey's
the fourth wall
right
for a second. Bonnie, could you pass me that spare pillow to put behind me, because I'm having to sit down.
Right, should we do some news?
Oh,
yes!
Bong.
News. Right, my first bit of news is happy birthday, bruh. And that is because Walt Disney Studios celebrates its 23rd year this weekend. Happy birthday to Walt Disney Studios. And then in my notes, it just says, reminisce on WDSP, but I think we've just done that bit with what we'll miss.
Well done there, Joey.
But I was thinking on this 23. I mean, this isn't a big birthday, is it? 23. However, if you think of you as a human at 23, your brain finishes plateaus developing at 25, but you are definitely considered an adult. You've been out of the house for 5 years. You've learned how, that you need to buy toilet roll. It doesn't just grow in the toilet itself. You know how to use a washing machine.
You're talking about our generation here, right? You're not talking about younger people who are never going to leave their parents' houses.
I'm thinking of us when we were 23. But you're maturing, but you're still a couple of years off being fully developed, and then you're set in your ways by the time you're 30, aren't you?
Yeah.
So it's had a rocky existence. As Walt Disney Studios Park. I'd say that it had a rough upbringing, bit of a tough paper round. It's made it through the hard years. It's got to that kind of like discovering who it is time now. And given the schedule, I think that we're just on the brink of it blossoming into be a fully rounded adult. What do you think? Yes, Lucy.
Well, we shall see.
We shall see.
Yeah.
Or do you think it's going to continue in its do you think its emotional scars are going to last well into the future?
I almost feel like they should have just shut the whole place down and done all this stuff all at once, and let it shut for 2 years and brought the whole thing back again, because I don't think it would have been a great loss to have lost that park for.
That's like years. In my analogy, you're sending my poor 21-year-old to prison.
Yeah, no, just to boarding school.
Just to boarding school, military academy. Get straightened out.
It just. I get where you're coming from, and you're right, and fair enough, but it just feels like it's taking forever, doesn't it?
It really does. It really does. But we are on the home stretch now.
Are we?
Well, we're in the last 15 months
of Frozen Land,
yeah,
and then it continues to be a building site while they build the Lion King, and then whatever else they decide to add in.
At least the Lion King's like out of the way. The Pride Lands are going to be sort of out in that corner, isn't it?
And in the meantime,
so they'll have to shut anything down.
Where's the main park expansion? Surely something's got to happen there at some point as well.
Just one new ride.
Nothing. Yeah, just anything.
There's an expansion pad next to
Pizza
Indiana
Planet,
Jones, isn't there?
I just want a Pizza Planet. I don't care about more attractions. I want a Pizza Planet.
Just bring it back
where it was. Yeah.
Andrew Heaver say, I'm really looking forward to seeing what Walt Disney Studios Park is like in 2 or 3 years, but I'm a big fan of Frozen and Lion King. He actually says, I'm a bug fan of Frozen and Lion King, but we all knew what you meant, Andrew. Yeah, I am. I'm very positive about it. I can tolerate a bit of construction walls. I am a seasoned Disney fan. I am no stranger.
Hey, yo!
I am no stranger to a construction wall, and I just think it's all for good, and I'm excited about what's coming. And I think once we get like the next phase, when we've got Studio One reopened, straight down the avenue, Frozen Land, we won't really care what's going on at the left.
Yeah, I think that's true.
I don't think that'll affect us too much.
I do think you're right.
And they did a great job with Avengers Campus. To say that basically they're just creating an urban environment, which could be horrendous, it's actually a really exciting place to be.
It is, it's cool. It's really
very
cool.
kinetic.
I'm looking forward to going there later in the year, actually.
Yay!
Mooching around.
This pew, pew, pew.
Chris, do you want a chili chocolate?
Do I?
Right, Chris got me, if you remember, like a couple of years ago on the Christmas show, Chris got me these silicone Star Wars molds, and we grow Naga Viper chilies, and I've got a bumper crop of chilies last year, and more than I can make the hot sauce. Well, I can make hot sauce, but it's time consuming.
So you've coated them in chocolate?
No, well, yeah, not quite. And do you know, I judged it perfectly, Chris. I got 1 chili, 3 Belgian chocolate bars, melted it down, finely chopped the chili, mixed it through. And these turned out, pun intended, so well from those silicone molds that people saw me put them on our group. I'll just try and hold it to the camera.
Ooh. They do look really cool.
The Millennium Falcon in particular. Right, so try a Boba Fett head maybe. You can take one home for Luke as well, because he likes the bit of heat, doesn't he?
He does, yeah. Am I going to wish I had a drink?
But the thing is, the heat isn't even, so some of them are hotter than others.
Right.
Now, does Lucy want to try one?
Absolutely not. Bonnie Slave again. Could you get Chris a big glass of water in case this all goes horribly wrong? Thank you.
Why would it go wrong?
I can't even eat them.
It's not that hot. Anyway, so yeah, that's the chili chocolate story.
Ruthie,
Never mind the water. Have you got something for my teeth?
I'll let them chew and they'll give you a review in a second. Ruthie says, waiting to go until 2027, playing it safe. Now, I understand your reasoning, Ruthie. And I know there are economic barriers to going to Disneyland Paris, but I would encourage you to go like this year because, you know, your mum says, oh, take your coat off when you go inside or you won't get benefit. Yeah, you've got to get the benefit of it. So go now when it's a little bit rubbish. And then when you go back in 2027, it'll be like a whole new world for you. That's
Don't
my
you dare
Disney
close
advice.
your eyes.
A new fantastic point of view.
Thank you, boys. That's my advice. But I'm constantly just kind of, I'm like a pusher, you know, and I would never touch illegal substances. However, I will push Disney drugs on anybody who asks. Right.
Hugh, can I just say?
Yes.
You have absolutely perfectly balanced that out.
Isn't it?
It's not too hot.
It was a complete random guess. It's one of those chilies, and these are hot chilies, man. Like 1 centimeter, like 1 millimeter squared is mad hot.
You might remember us trying them on one of the shows.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago.
That's
Good,
great.
yeah.
Great kick at the end. Too hot for Lucy, I would say. Way
Massively
too hot for
moreish. If there was one thing,
Have another one then.
the chocolates could probably be slightly smaller.
Yeah.
I won't have another one right this second because I'm not going to eat it straight away and it'll melt in my fingers because they're not tempered.
Well, what you might need after that, Chris, is a drink. What do you think?
Hey, ole, it's your
Go on,
time.
I'll have another one.
All together.
I'm gonna have another one.
Well, you made yourself a beverage, now drink it up from your tiki cup.
You can't have the Millennium Falcon though. Right, today,
That's fine.
guys, we're drinking. Lucy's got pina colada, but I've also bought some Tango Strawberry Smash, sugar-free.
Tango strawberry smash. That
It's
sounds good.
Tango Editions, not sponsored.
Are there 3 of those?
Yeah.
Let me have one of those before I have my pina colada then. Oh, I like this.
I've gone for this. What is it? General Grievous.
Yes.
No, that's the Mandalorian.
Oh, okay,
Symbol.
yeah. Okay, I've gone for that because it's a slightly smaller chocolate, not quite so thick. I thought it'd be easier to eat.
Yeah, it is.
Fabulous.
So Tango Strawberry Smash. I don't know if you've tried it at home. It's very nice. To me, it just tastes like strawberry and orange, but see what you think.
Very nice.
What is in it?
Right, next bit of news. Money goes to money. This is, do you know what? Obviously, you know what that phrase means. It means people who already have money tend to make money because they've got the things to do it. But I just remember an older family friend of ours saying it when we went to a raffle. We knew somebody who was quite well off and lived in a big house, and then they won the raffle. And this woman went, "Oh, money goes to money." And it just really made me laugh. I don't know why it stuck with me as that phrase, money goes to money. And what I mean in a Disney context is those annual pass holders just keep getting more and more and more. They're a very expensive gift that keeps giving. So from now until the 6th of April, annual pass holders get an increased discount in merchandise locations. Ooh. So silver members who previously had 10% discount now get 15% discount until the 6th of April. And gold members who used to get 15% now get 20% until the 6th of April. So there you go.
To try and get people into the shops that are opening.
I was going to say, why are they doing that? Do you think that's to do with...
I mean, it seems they're incentivising people getting out of the village, are they? I'm assuming.
Well, let's move that on to the next piece of news then. Disney Style and Disney Glamour are open.
Yeah.
They had a couple of execs there who really are so minor in my life that it wasn't worth writing their names down.
Oh, that's harsh, Lucy. What if they're listening?
Oh, I'm sorry. It was a guy who was chief executive of merchandising, I think.
He's worked all his life to get to that position, and you're just going, his name wasn't worth writing down. Poor guy.
Should I find out? I do
think
feel
you
a bit
should.
bad now.
What is he again? What did you say he was?
No, just go on.
No, I want to Google it and see if his name
Oh,
appears.
chief executive of merchandising at Disneyland Paris and the chief executive of Disney Village.
I'll do that one.
Okay. But Natasha Rafalski wasn't there. If they really cared, they would have invited Natasha Rafalski, wouldn't they?
Christoph Murphy.
There you go. He were there, I think.
Disney Village Chief Executive. Oh
no, he's a Senior Vice President of Operations, is Christoph
No,
Murphy.
you see, you can't even Google it. It's that obscure. I might find it in a second. And also, Minnie looking fancy.
Bob Chapek here.
In a Parisian outfit. So we had a rather fancy looking Minnie, and then they opened it. We were all very pleasantly surprised with the outside, weren't we? We thought, despite our expectations, they've managed to keep the Disney whimsy whilst also making it quite upmarket and cool. However, the reviews of the interior are, it is incredibly plain interior, which is a problem. Disney Glamour is mainly on high-end women's apparel. And exclusive.
Is that apparel for high-end women?
Yes. Not the ones who are all about the base. That does they can't fit into anything. And exclusive lines, whereas Disney Style has got street style collabs. I don't like that word.
I don't like the times thing they do when they just put like two names with a big thin X between them.
Yeah. Vintage. They've got the vintage rack back.
Oh, good.
And customized.
That sounded sarcastic. I meant it. Oh, good.
Customized apparel
that sounded worse.
And customized apparel from Atelier. Now they're like Atelier. Is that how you say that, Christopher?
Yes.
Atelier.
They're confident.
They're like a luggage company, aren't they? Atelier. They've got like computer screens set up anyway for you to like digitally customize something and then wait and go away and come back. And
I thought you meant like Argos.
You've got
put in a code and they come and bring it to you.
You've got rucksacks kind of personalised.
So look at that word. Atelier.
Atelier.
Yeah. So yeah, I, as Lucy.
You are Lucy.
Yeah. And as Lucy, I am extremely excited about these shops. I'm not going to lie. I love me a bit of Disney shopping. I love me a bit of style and glamour. I mean, just look at me, you know? I'm pure class.
Do you know what I think? I think I put this on Facebook the other day, but as much as I'm not over enamoured with the overall look and feel of what they're doing with the village, I think the fascias of the shops are pretty decent.
Yeah.
And so I'm kind of warming to it.
We had to eat our hats a little bit looking at them a couple of weeks ago, didn't we? Three weeks ago?
Yeah, God, it was 3 weeks ago, yeah. Yeah.
Well, hey guys, do you know what? Your organic segues are absolutely doing the business today.
We had to mange our chapeaux. Mange mes chapeaux. Mange mon chapeau? I'm not
It's talking of those I won't say Facilier then. That's a real Disney reference. What? The facades, thank you.
Facades, yeah.
Brick Burst was another one of my headlines. And that is, we've now got the big facade for the featured facade for the Lego store, which is a massive Lego 3D sculpture of Sorcerer Mickey kind of bursting out of a book. There's rumour that he may move because electricians have been seen fiddling with him.
I hope they use the Craggle if they does move, because otherwise there'll be bricks falling off all over the place and hitting people.
What's a Craggle?
From the Lego movie.
Oh, I'm sure they've used the Craggle already, Chris. I'm sure they've used the Craggle. So that he looks really cool. Again, they've just got this rather plain actual architecture, haven't they? And they've kind of put this big signage on the front. But the three that we've got so far, the style, the glamour and the Lego, are all really featurey.
They've basically gone, right, this is a shop. You've got this is your canvas. Do something decent. And it's art, isn't it? They're all nice little
really
pieces
good
of art. I'm impressed.
So to close the Lego store but keep the franchise happy, they converted the arcade that is down where the toilets are next to the sports bar.
Toilets, yeah, toilets.
So that has been a temporary Lego store for the last few months. That's where it was when we went in November, wasn't it? Do you remember? No, Bonnie does. Me and Bonnie went in it, didn't we? The temporary Lego store. No, everyone's looking blank. I remember it.
Is that when I was off getting you that cardigan?
Yeah, and you said you were taking a photo and you were gone ages.
Yeah, that's where I was.
So the temporary Lego store has now closed ahead of the reopening of the permanent store in April. So we're going to have at least a 2.5 week gap before we have an actual Lego store. This is presumably part of their strategy or whatever. So no Lego store for the next few weeks, guys, but then you're going to get a big Branking Span new one. Branking Span?
Branking Span, can you ding that?
Thank you.
Oh no, what will people do without access to Lego in Disneyland Paris?
I like a mooch around a Lego store at the end of a park day.
Oh no, I'm all for that. It's just that Lego is available everywhere. It's not. You don't have to go to a Lego store to get Lego.
The only memorable thing from inside the Lego store that I remember seeing is there was a Lego set that was an intersection, like a crossroads, and I was like. That just amused me. I was like, ooh, a Lego intersection. Mommy, can I have the intersection, please? And I just thought, wow, that's so mundane. I love it. But now, that's what I remember. I don't remember anything else that I've ever seen there.
With all these Disney connections, I don't get why Lego don't have an exclusive Disneyland Paris hotel at DLP and an exclusive, Cinderella Castle in California and so on. I don't understand why they don't do that. Like, it just seems to be the most logical thing, because they could use pretty much the same template and the same chunks of bits and just sort it out.
Oh, can you imagine Skull Rock? That's not one, is it? No, they haven't done that, have they?
No.
Do you know what I feel they could do quite easily?
And a pirate ship.
You know, at the moment they're selling that sculpture of the clock tower from the Disneyland Hotel, the pink one.
Yes.
They're selling that for quite a lot. I think that would make a good Lego thing.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
Especially if you could get it to work.
Do you know, like,
Beyond the Bricks have done it.
In the past I've said, like, why don't they just, like, print the logos of the attractions on T-shirts? Just like, no fuss. Just take the logo and go, boom, bang it on a T-shirt. Well, here's what I did the other day, guys. I saw that, Dino Land USA in Florida, which is my favourite, and unironically, my favourite park in any of the land. My favourite land in any of the parks in the world, right? I know that's ridiculous, but it's true. And because of the way things work, when I like something, it gets taken away from me. The mango whip, the Boba Fett biscuit, all those, the big Aero biscuit, all the things I like disappear. So it stands to reason Dinoland USA has been taken away. And I thought, well, it's going to happen. But then they cruelly they demolished Cementosaurus, that giant. And I got so angry that on Thursday, when I wasn't working, but I was at my computer, I sat for about 25 minutes and I made a simple Dinoland USA logo, like a vector version of it. Put it on my TeePublic shop. So I'm not saying this is to buy, because I probably shouldn't be selling this. But
he doesn't want to cease and desist.
No, but for me, I made my own Dinoland USA T-shirt with a Triceratops on it, and I've ordered it in green, and it's on the way.
Very good. Well,
so because I couldn't find a simple T-shirt like this, and I want to remember Dinoland USA, and I think that's quite a cool T-shirt.
That is a very cool.
It's kind of like the sort of college T-shirt trend that we got in the mid noughties, early noughties.
Yeah.
It's like one of those. Anyway,
nice.
Just because I know that it was very important to give credit, Disney Village President Bruno Chastain and Head of Merchandise Jean-David Marc.
Okay. Is it John David or Mark?
Jean-David.
Jean-David
Marc.
Jean-David Marc.
Jean-David Marc. They were their opening Style and Glamour, so due respect to them in their head positions. I'm sure everybody on the red carpet was thrilled to see them. Leo says, first time watching the show, just discovered the channel. I'm loving the content you guys created. Well, thank you very much, Leo. We're enjoying making it. Although me and Chris are particularly greyish today, aren't we?
We are grey. I was darker grey, but I took my grey jumper off to go with my grey shirt instead.
At least it says Star Tours on. Now, I've got the same Star Tours T-shirt, and I never ever wear it because I'm too precious about it. I wish I hadn't. I should have bought two.
It's got a really nice, it's like fuzzy felt.
Yeah.
But it's worn down so much that it just feels flat now.
And mine's still got the little fuzziness. I don't think I've ever washed it, to be honest. I think I wore it once and I've never washed it.
I had every intention of buying a new one.
Yeah.
Last time I went to DLP, but they don't sell it anymore.
Of course they don't.
Because it's just the logo of the ride.
Yes. This is what you're just a simple graphic image on a t-shirt. 2 colours, boom. Let's go.
I love it.
Come on, please.
Let's go.
Do you know what else is green?
What?
These segues just write themselves.
Here we go.
It's St. Patrick's Day tomorrow.
Kermit.
Oh.
Okay. Oh, that was Scottish.
Okay.
I went Scottish, and now I feel like I've insulted two countries
You can tell
at
we've
once.
had a couple of weeks off, Kate.
She's not even started on the pina colada.
Oh dear, I have got a very, very close Irish friend that I literally spoke to on Zoom this morning as well, and she would
say okay to that.
She would be so cross at me. Anyway, so we're celebrating this. All I could find is that this will be celebrated in the Disney Village. That's where it's been advertised. So they've got a photo location which is quite cute. It's a green bench with a garland over it, presumably made up of shamrocks. That says St. Patrick's Day. And there'll be celebrations after 8 p.m. in the village yesterday, today, and tomorrow, and live music from Billy Bob's. Live music in Billy Bob's tomorrow night, the 17th. Having said that, in previous years, there has been pop-up characters in the park, hasn't there?
Yeah.
I couldn't see any advertised, but we presume they'll be there.
There's also going to be a bunch of incredibly drunk people in football shirts in the London pub.
Oh, yeah. I think
And
we've
green hats.
told this story before, but the worst bar brawl I've ever seen was in an Irish pub on St. Patrick's Day on the Head Row in Leeds. And it was almost like comic book violent. There was like chairs flying and stuff. It was so rough. Anyway. There we go. Save the date, people. This is my last bit of news.
Of dawn,
I'm giving you due warning to get the trip reports up because this is my last bit of news. Okay, and this is a very simple piece of news. They have now released the dates for both the Halloween and the Christmas season. So get your diaries out, guys. Get your little biros clicked, ready to take note. That Halloween will run from the 1st of October to the 2nd of November. 1st of October to the 2nd of November, and Christmas will run from the 8th of November to the 6th of January. I was going to say this year, but presumably that's January next year. So from the 1st of October 2025 to the 2nd of November 2025, and then from the 8th of November 2025 to the 6th of January 2026. Oh, this might, I'm not promising anything, but the first year the Rain family are in a Disney park in Halloween.
Ooh.
Might it?
Yeah, we worked out the other day that we think there are 2 months we've never been to a Disney park. We know October we've never been, but then we as we went through we realised maybe we haven't been in March.
I can see that March would be a month that you wouldn't go.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a nothing month, isn't it? And unless you get a stupidly early Easter.
Unless you've got a birthday.
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, hopefully we can. However, you have been in Halloween before. You love it at Halloween, don't you?
Yes, I did love it at Halloween. I mean, we were supposed to go last year and then we didn't. But as I was saying to you before, the end of this week, I pay my final payments for our Disney holiday. So then I can say I'm actually properly going.
And when is it?
July. Yeah.
July.
In it.
That's how they say it. Further south than us.
Now then,
July.
John has zoomed in on a piece of news I didn't report on. So would love opinions on the food at the new fantasy restaurant at Disneyland Hotel.
Bears.
Love the theming of the dishes. Still don't think I'd pay to go there. Too fancy for me. Do you know, John, I'm aware that that's opened and I'm aware there's been a lot of reviews of it this week and it was kind of going to be on the news. I didn't know how to structure it on the news because we don't have a menu the way that we have had for previous places where we can go through the menu. So I'm relying on other content creators' photos of the food and reports of the food, which I was a bit uncomfortable doing. However, I think, because we do love a good menu show, don't we? We love a menu. That next week I will either get hold of a photograph of the menu or some non-copyrighted photos of the food. Hopefully Disney have released some by now, and we'll have a chat about that next week.
I think we should try and make whatever it is that they call all the different things.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, I think it'd be funny.
Oh, it's the fanciest food.
Well, so I can't remember if I said this when it was announced, but I work for Nespresso, and
do you?
Yeah, and Jean Imbert.
I don't think I even knew that.
Did you not?
Well, I probably did. Yeah.
Yeah. So Jean Imbert did a partnership with Nespresso for for Christmas just gone, and so he did 2 coffees for that. One of them was peanut and sesame flavoured coffee, and the other one was an almond croissant coffee, and the almond croissant was absolutely gorgeous. In fact, I've still got stacks of it.
Nice.
I keep stocking up on it because it's very, very nice. But yeah, so he's someone that I am familiar with because of the stuff going on there. So I'm quite excited to hear more about it. Have I met George Clooney, says John. I haven't met George Clooney. No, unfortunately not. Some of my team have.
Really?
Yeah, because when the adverts and stuff happen, sometimes they've got in rooms with him before.
See, I get confused because I thought, like, right, here's what it is. You used to work for Nestle, right?
Well, I still do.
Well, I know.
Yeah.
This one get to. You used to work for Nestle, then you started another job.
Yeah.
But then not so long ago you said I work for Nestle, and I kind of looked at you and I thought you didn't anymore. And then you just said Nespresso, and I'm thinking, but I thought it was Nestle. And I just quickly, like, on the sly looked it up, and I thought Nestle must own Nespresso, and they do.
They do indeed.
So, yeah. So I thought initially your new job was like a completely new job. It's a different avenue of your in the company, isn't it? That you're in, right?
Okay.
I get it now.
Should we get on to the trip reports?
Yes.
Rather than Chris's LinkedIn page.
Chris bought me a pineapple habanero hot sauce as well.
I did, but the word hot is a little bit of an exaggeration. I think it's more like a pineapple sauce.
It's a sweet fruity. I mix hot sauces though, so I'll just add something to it.
It definitely needs cutting with something a little bit stronger.
Cutting.
If you've got some of those Vipers left, I'd maybe just bung a few in.
Yeah,
mix
pop one in. Yeah.
I've got another hot sauce for us to try. It's a mahi one. I don't know if you've seen it anywhere, but I spotted it the other day and I thought that sounds interesting.
Okay.
So I got it. And also the Stormtrooper hot sauce that you got me at Christmas was, in my mind, surprisingly hot. Like, I'm not saying it's on fire hot. It's a 3 or a 4.
Yeah.
But definitely hotter than any of the ones that I got you that time. So I think we need to get some nachos and do some hot sauce. We haven't done that for a while. And let's be honest, that's what the people want. The people want us eating spicy stuff.
It's been a while since we've seen Nachosaurus.
Yeah, I think the people want that.
I think that should have been brought out in remembrance of Dinoland USA today as well. Too late now.
I love like kitschy dinosaur stuff.
Plastic dinosaurs.
Yeah, love it.
Are your king, can't they?
What we like for time?
It's like 1:15.
So, would you like to?
So it's 12 minutes past.
Would you like to hang around DLP for a while, or would you like to take a trip to Tokyo?
I want Tokyo.
We did promise we'd do this.
We did promise the Tokyo, yeah.
Okay, this is from Salman Al Naim. I'm sorry, I'm probably saying that completely wrong.
Probably, the way you said it. I'd say definitely.
Yeah.
Just because you put like a long vowel in it.
I'm just going to go to the end and say and you haven't signed it off either in an easier name for me to pronounce or anything like that. So, because obviously I'm going off an email address here. Anyway.
Yeah. Cheers, Bill.
Yeah. Hang on, because no. Okay, so
is there a jingle?
That's a Neve there, isn't it? No, that's a Naomi. No, Noemi. I don't. I give up.
We're spiraling, guys.
I give up. We're spiraling. It's okay. Epic.
Okay.
Jingle.
Epic took. I apologise. Oh, we do have a jingle. Yeah.
Audience trip roundup.
And we're centred. Epic Tokyo Disneyland trip. 6 nights in Tokyo Disney. End of July with my wife and 5-year-old. Had to omit a lot of details to keep it short. We like that. We like short. Yeah. Day 1, Disneyland. After a long 11-hour flight, we started our day late. We started at Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, followed by lunch at Hungry Bear Curry House.
Hold the phone.
Yeah,
They went straight to the parks after 11-hour...
There's a couple of things here.
We started our day...
After an 11-hour flight, and they'd have to transfer, and it's not close to the airport either. They went straight to the park.
And not only that, they went straight to Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique.
Oh, there is some hardcore respect going on here. Unless he means we started the day late, meaning the following day wasn't a 7 a.m. start.
Well,
maybe that's what he means.
Well, after an 11-hour flight,
these guys are like Marines.
They went to Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique and then had lunch at Hungry Bear Curry House.
They must mean the
only
following
just
day.
Lunchtime.
And then they had a curry, and they were like, "Give me the hottest curry." These guys are machines.
Oh.
And then they got battered on beer.
Battered on beer. So they're 9 hours ahead of us. So an 11-hour flight. I'm trying to do the maths and I can't even think. It just does not compute.
I know when we went to Japan, and I can't remember how it worked, but we travelled for 24 hours because we did have a layover somewhere and different things. And we actually arrived like a day and a half after we'd set off. It was very strange. It was very weird. Yeah.
Right. So they had lunch anyway at Hungry Bear Curry House, either the following day after the flight or literally as soon as they landed.
I want a curry right now.
The Hungry Bear Curry House, their hamburger curry was so good, had it for lunch 3 times during our week trip, followed by the Happy Ride.
These guys are unorthodox, man.
Yeah. So after lunch, they then went on the Happy Ride with Baymax, which was so fun. People danced with passion. Then we jumped to the Beauty and the Beast ride. This was probably the best ride we've been on. We finished the day watching the electric parade, and it was amazing. Our first electrical parade. There you go. So that's day 1.
The electric parade.
Now that is labelled as day 1, by the way.
Okay.
And it includes the 11-hour flight. I think it is the same day.
I like that his curry was his highlight as well.
What's a hamburger curry?
Is this a curry flavoured hamburger or a hamburger flavoured curry?
Is it? It doesn't say.
It might just have hamburger chunks.
I love the sound of it.
I think if you hadn't omitted a lot of the detail to keep it short, then you might know.
We're like, we like it when it's short, omit detail. Then immediately we're like, we've got questions.
This is too short, guys. Just for a benchmark.
He wrote a dissertation on this very burger.
We've spent longer talking around the points than we've been reading the points out.
There's only one sentence. Day 2, Disney Sea. Started the day at Ariel Land as my daughter is a huge fan of Little Mermaid. This was an indoor air-conditioned part of the park, so we stayed here until lunch. Lunch was at the SS dining room in the ship. We had the roast beef and my daughter had the chicken and soup. We got tickets to see Peter Pan Neverland ride in Fantasy Springs, which is way better than the original Peter Pan. They did an amazing job. It does really feel we were flying with Peter. We ordered some dinner at Lost Boys Cookout. Lost Boys Cookout. I love the names of some of these places. And the restaurant has only one item on the menu, so the order goes by how many of the boxes we want. Chicken strips with crackers. We washed it down with sugary pixie dust, a lemony drink. We also got lucky and got tickets for Rapunzel Lantern Festival, which was right next door. A traditional boat ride of the movie. It was very unique. We plan to come back in a few days to see it at night. Finish the day watching the water parade, Disney Believe Sea of Dreams. All characters were on a boat, making it a unique experience, but because of the boats, they were far away. The electric parade is better since there are many places we can get close to the get close to the characters. Let me put my teeth back in.
A water parade sounds good though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I wonder, we still to hear what they've got planned for Disney World of Adventure. What have we called it? Adventure Bay. But we know that they're putting in the infrastructure for a nighttime spectacular. So I'm thinking fountain show.
I think so too.
But a water parade, a la the electric water pageant, could also be an option.
They'd have to stop doing the Sky Parade then, though, wouldn't they?
That's true.
Day 3, Disneyland. Back in Disneyland. Started the day with Winnie the Pooh and lunch at Coffee House having the famous Baymax curry. Another curry. After a delicious lunch...
I didn't know Japan was big on curry.
Yeah.
Okay. I do now.
After a delicious lunch, we needed a ride to mess us up, so we went to Splash Mountain. We visited the shop and did some damage. We rode Gadget Go Coaster in Toontown, our daughter's first coaster. Then we went to Goofy Playhouse. We visited the Fairy Tale Hall at the castle. Just before leaving, we went on It's a Small World 4 times back to back, a favourite of ours.
I feel like I could go on a trip with these guys. Oh, except that they eat a lot of curry and I don't like curry.
I like curry.
You can have the chicken strips in the place where all you can have is chicken strips.
But I mean, hitting Splash Mountain then 4 times on Small World back to back. Are you up for that, Bonnie?
Silence. Day 4, Disneyland. We had to switch hotels, so they delayed us starting our day to almost midday. Checked into Ambassador Hotel and went straight to the park. We had our lunch at the Crystal Buffet, which was delicious. Rode Winnie the Pooh again, followed by the Teacups and Peter Pan. We got on Buzz Lightyear and Monsters Inc. were both amazing, and I lost both rides. Loved, maybe? I don't think lost is what is meant there. Day 5, Disney Sea. Got breakfast with Mickey. We were on Disney Vacation Package, which included unlimited priority pass in Fantasy Springs, and we were going to make the most of it. We rode Tinkerbell Ride twice, once in the morning and once at night. We rode Rapunzel Lantern Festival twice, morning and night. It was way nicer at night. We rode Peter Pan Ride 3 times and Frozen Journey 3 times without almost any wait time at all. Lunch was at the Royal Banquet of Arundel. Finished the day with Soaring. Fantastic flight.
This sounds ace.
It does, doesn't it?
Thing is, you hear a lot of these like attraction names, and they don't mean anything to me. So you just let it wash over you. Go, okay, they've gone to that. I've never heard of it. I don't know what it is. Same happens with California actually. There's so much that we'll be watching something and I'll say, and I'll think it's a video about Florida, and I'll say to Lucy, "Where's that?" And she goes, "It's California." And I go, "Oh, forget it then. I don't need to know." But there's so much you don't know about the other parks. That's the thing, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
So much. Like Tokyo would be like brand new to me.
And it's not just knowing about it, because I do watch quite a lot of videos of these different things, and I'm familiar with the ride names and stuff, but it's knowing where they are. Like, I can mentally walk through Disneyland Paris, and I go, oh yes, so I turn left and that's where that is. Oh, they've just talked about that, so that's up there.
Yeah.
But like, talking about stuff like this
isn't it?
and then not knowing, it's a bit scattergun, isn't it?
Luke's is obsessed with the snacks in Tokyo Disney. He sees a lot of shots of people with
look amazing.
various different things. And
I'm obsessed with the merch in Tokyo
merch
Disney.
Is good.
It's like I'd have to go with a whole empty suitcase if we went to Tokyo, because it's just like every bit of merch is like a piece of art in itself.
Buy a suitcase.
Day 6, Disney Sea. Started the day at Toy Story Mania, followed by Nemo and Friends Sea Rider. We jumped on Aquatopia.
See? What?
Since it was next door, and had to go on Soaring Fantastic because it was just amazing. Lunch was at the New York Deli for pastrami. One of the most memorable trips we had, but it was hot. There were a couple of days there it reached 40 degrees centigrade, dampening on our Disney experience. All in all, a Disney trip that was epic and look forward to repeating in a few years.
Oh, I'm
Florida
so
doesn't
jealous.
get to 40, does it? Well, not often.
Thank you for that, Salman.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now, like, we've got Guy going to California in what he said 20 some days, and we've got Salman's just come back from Tokyo, and you know that we were like actively in the next couple of years looking at California being the next one, and now I'm going, Tokyo's always a possibility.
Yeah.
I don't think we can afford these things. We only get to Disney World with the points, don't we? But you're like, YOLO.
We'll be all right.
Yeah.
Now,
Yes.
I have Andrew's trip report, but Andrew, it's quite a long one, isn't it, Andrew? Isn't it? And I'm just wondering...
You almost said...
Andrew.
Do you know...
Andrew.
That was
I'm
like
just-
a teacher going... There's a rude word written on this note,
Well,
isn't there,
Andrew
Chris?
knows what he's done.
You know what the
There are
word is.
1001 words. No,
We've already spoken about this, haven't we, Andrew?
I'm just wondering whether we leave it for now because there's only 7 minutes left. I'm not sure we'll get through it all in the time that we have.
I think leave that for now.
What's going on in
Andrew
the
says,
chat? 'Cause I'm not
yes.
conversation.
and bring it
Next week,
bring it
hopefully.
in next week where we can have a really good chat
We'll do it
about
properly next week, Andrew. I think that's the way to go. We'll give it some proper time. What's going on in the chat? Because there's other conversations taking place. I've noticed.
George Clooney. Well, Louise
George
is here.
Hi, Louise.
Someone else. Ed was here late to the party. He says. Louise says, better late than never. I'll catch up on the podcast in the week.
Do it.
Leo says, how hot is Disneyland Paris in August? like 20 to 30th of August. I'm from Brazil. The warmth is not a big deal, but I'd be a bit sad to fly over there to face high temperatures there too.
I don't know what a high temperature is in Brazil. Now,
Let's find out.
It is generally a couple of degrees hotter in France than it is in England, in Paris than it is in Leeds, let's say, at any time. So we tend to be like going up a climate level, but only by a couple of degrees. August, I think you're looking at most likely a 25 to 28 degrees. Do you think that's an estimation? However, West Europe is generally quite unpredictable. Like you can absolutely have a 35-degree day in August, but you could easily have an 18-degree day.
When we all went in 2022,
it were mental.
It was ridiculously hot, wasn't it?
But again, what's your threshold? Like, we're from Yorkshire.
It wasn't humid though. It was crisp heat, so it was bearable.
Yeah.
But like I think that we're all of the demographic that might be like, oh my God, it was 28 degrees. It was so hot. Whereas a lot of people from countries would be like 28 degrees, mate, please.
Oh yeah, but so Leo says in there, a cold day where I live is like 27, 28. I can take anything under 30 degrees.
Yeah.
So you're going to be around that temperature, I would say, maybe a little bit over.
That's not a promise. It can get over 30. I think generally it would be between 25 and 30 degrees would be a normal August day in Paris. Do you
Paris
think?
isn't like a famously like hot place like Florida.
No.
You know, where you'd be like, well, what do you expect? Like it could be a cloudy, overcast day and not too hot. It's hard to say. Most summers we've been, it's been pretty hot, hasn't it? Pretty hot. There's like one in particular where it was too hot for me.
But you see,
I had a meltdown, but
you're saying that's where you live. We live in a place where it gets to 19 degrees and everyone's going, oh, have you seen the weather?
It's cracking flags.
I took my coat off. Today.
I don't like people to get like the wrong impression. Like we this isn't normal, but we did have 40 degrees a couple of years ago.
And I had to shut my school. I ran a performing arts school at the time, and I had to shut it for 2 days because we don't have air conditioning.
It doesn't tend to go over 30 here often.
And I know that some presidents
but it can get quite
deny
hot
climate change and things, but it's definitely got worse over the last few years. We
Yeah.
are seeing temperatures breaking records on an annual basis. So it's really difficult to say them on, but I would say, yeah, anywhere between 25 and 35 it could be. It's unlikely to go above that, but it could do. It could.
Stella's helping out here. She
That's
says,
a good question.
morning from down under. We went in September and it was 28 degrees.
Yeah,
I
that
think,
must have been a good September.
Yeah. I went at the end of September and it wasn't that. I don't remember looking at the temperature, but I'm reckoning it was more like 21, 22. I remember in the evening it got breezy and I had to go back for a coat. So it was, yeah.
Have you seen what Sally's added? I've just been beeped at by an impatient grandma in the school car park. I'm about to rewind to the start now and enjoy the full show. I thought you were saying you were going to sort of, to spite this impatient grandma, rewind the show and just blast it out to her.
If anybody else is watching this show whilst driving, can I advise against that, please?
Oh, Struth, what's with this tiki cup music you're blasting out at me, mate?
What was that?
What's with a tiki?
That's what my mum said. My mum's an Aussie. That's what she sounds like.
Is it?
Hugh, before you think that was kind of xenophobic, Hugh is legitimately half Australian. Like, his mum is actually Australian. We're not just saying that.
I am biologically half Scottish, but culturally half Australian because she was born in Scotland, but she's an Australian.
She moved to Australia when she was like 1, didn't she? So so she was educated and all her family live in Australia.
I wasn't really educated.
Just on the heat though, what I will say to you is this: if it's a hot day and you're looking for somewhere to eat and you decide to go into Vapiano's and they tell you that the aircon isn't working, don't just go, it's off, it's all right, we'll sit upstairs anyway, because that is still the most uncomfortable I have ever been in.
I think
my
what it
life.
was they said downstairs was full, but it said you can sit upstairs, but the aircon up there's broken. It was just upstairs, wasn't it?
Just upstairs, yeah.
And man, it was like being in a greenhouse. But it was kind of fun though.
So while we're on this, I've got a tips video on this channel that is all about coping with weather.
Pluggity plug.
Yeah, in Disneyland Paris. So look at that. But briefly, I would say use the shows. But specifically, I think PhilharMagic in behind Space Mountain never has a wait. So you're only going to wait for the next show to start, which is going to be maximum 15 minutes. But if you work the law of averages, that means you're probably going to wait 7.5 minutes for most people. So yeah, go do that. Now you can also do the ones in the studios, Mickey and the Magician and things, but they tend to have longer waits. But it just means you get that time to sit down in the air conditioning. I recommend walking through shops, walk through the arcades. I genuinely think that when it's mad hot, all you need is like 60 seconds in the aircon to reset your body temperature, and it's all right, isn't it?
Yeah.
To go back out
I like
again.
to sit and take my shoes off for a moment. Just let my feet kind of dry out.
Nobody else likes that, but
Hey,
Hugh likes it.
look, I don't. No, I'm not a stinky feet person. There's
Yeah.
just as smelly as anyone else's.
I've had a trip report thought.
Yeah.
So what if when you write your trip reports from now on, guys, you tell us as well as telling us how many cats and how many boxes, you tell us what the hottest temperature was at the time that you were there, and then we start to get a bit of a gauge. And then what you could do is you could start the trip reports off by saying 2 cats, 1 box, 40 degrees, right? So you know, like on Facebook pages when people are selling stuff and they put a banana for scale and they put a piece of paper with the date on it to show that it's genuine, like that kind of thing.
Anyone who's been recently, I think we do have people in the chat who've been recently or are there at the moment, is the Swinging Pirate back? Because often the Swinging Pirate has been hoisted up and held. When we went, it wasn't even there. He just wasn't there. And I'm worried about the guy.
I like to do temperature reports on my Florida videos.
Yeah.
Particularly in February, because I thought that'd be interesting to know. But then it turned out it was a lot warmer than usual when we went in February. It was still like 28, 29, sometimes 30 degrees in February.
Yeah.
And that apparently wasn't normal.
Apparently it was a heat wave. Yeah. The person we're going with, the male person that we're going with in May, is very concerned about the heat and keeps asking about it.
He doesn't like it when it's hot.
And we're just saying, look, it's mad hot. We're not going to lie to you. It's mad hot. And we think if he mentally prepares himself for that, he'll be all right.
You get used to it. You really do.
Of course you do.
I think the humidity helps because if it's a dry, baking heat, there's something that feels really dangerous about that. But humid heat, it's sapping, but at least you've got some moisture about you.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. Just quickly, because I didn't do it earlier, if any of you have a trip report, you can send it to us at mailbox at 37disneystreet.co.uk.
What's that address again, Chris?
It's mailbox at 37disneystreet.co.uk. Or you can send us a message or whatever. It doesn't really matter. However you want. Do what you like. Just do what you like.
UV umbrella and fans for the heat, says Louise.
Agreed, definitely with the fans. The UV umbrellas, for me, because they are made of a different material, are really heavy compared to your average lightweight umbrella. Or at least the one I bought was. And it works, but I didn't like lugging it around the parks personally. Would not leave without a fan. And also, I prefer a flappy hand fan to an electric fan.
Sweat wicking pants.
I just looked up in the corner of this room, so it just changed the subject. And there's a couple of things there, but I thought they were Waldorf and Statler. And they're just like little heads up in the right in the corner there, second shelf up, right in the corner.
Chinese married couple.
Yeah, a little Chinese married couple apparently. But from here, I thought they were Waldorf and Statler, and I thought they were going to start heckling.
Yeah, I think as long as those 2 little statuette things are like upright, it means that Will be okay.
Oh, cool.
No.
That's good. But we digress.
I think that's what someone told us when they got it. But then we got like another little character.
I don't say that because one of them his head's fallen off. I'm not kidding.
We got a third one, and that represents Bonnie, and it's got pink hair, and that sits in the middle of them. And that was a separate item.
We're well off track now. I'm just going to plug
It's time to go.
Our Patreon channel. As many of you know, for nothing, just £3 a month, you get an extra 20 minutes after the show, and we can talk about anything we want to. If you want to extend this madness, you can. You can even sign up right now, and you'll get the link instantly, and then you can join us today if you want to.
It's in the description.
We don't profit out of this. Everything we get goes back to the channel. At the moment, you were just talking about the camera's not doing well, and we want a new camera.
Yeah, at the moment we're using an iPhone, and it's fine. It does the job, but I have to charge it every week before I come, and we could just do something that works a bit better. And I'd quite like something that helps us kind of focus in on each other a little bit better and stuff, and just do some good stuff, clever stuff. So
it's things like that the Patreon money helps us with. So if you enjoy our content and you want to keep the standard high, shall we say, then it's just a way for you to support us. No pressure, because everyone has their own income things, and I'm just mentioning that it's there. Right, guys, thank you very much for joining us. I've been Lucy. This has been a can of pina colada, and these have been the boys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.
Take care.
That's Sooty, that. Remember that?
Yes.
Yeah. He's a member of the Magic Circle, you know.
Sooty.
Yeah.
Is he?
He is, like
He's a clever
officially.
guy, isn't he?
He is.
Ah.